Okay, 5 seconds should be enough for the shock to wear off that I no longer have the beard and the hair is quite short again. Anyway, Huva Nigeria Herat, and welcome back to YouTuber Spotlight, formerly known as YouTuber of the Week. I figure since I have not been doing this on a weekly basis, it seems like false advertising to call it such. Anyway, so you're probably wondering why I just greeted y'all in a very, very poor Americanized version of the Finnish language. Quite simply, this is where our next YouTuber hails from, and I'm talking about a man known as Siperos. I actually found out about Siperos through Lady Lilia's channel, so once again 6 Degrees of Lady Lil, when she was doing her Let's Play of, I think it was Thimbleweed Park, and he was offering some feedback and some suggestions and whatnot. So I checked out his channel, and after watching 2 or 3 of his videos, I was hooked like a shark attached to a bucket of chum, alright? And I'm actually going to go into a few of the reasons why I like his channel so much. First of all, the style of games that he plays. Growing up in the 80s and 90s, I was very attached to point-and-click adventure games, puzzle games, FPS, first-person shooters, and that kind of thing. And the majority of the videos he has posted so far since he started have been exclusively those games that I grew up with. I'm talking about games like Day of the Tentacle, games from the Monkey Island series, Vampire the Masquerade later on, Full Throttle, Duke Nukem 3D, and most recently, Blood. I mean, if it got to the point that he ever plays Return to Zork or any game of the Myth saga, I will completely nerd out and then have a stroke. That's just the kind of style of games that I love so much. And even the newer games that he's playing right now were heavily inspired by these old games. A big example of that would be he's currently playing Pillars of Eternity, which is very, very influenced by the text-based RPGs such as Baldur's Gate or Icewind Dale. Another game that he recently played was Thimbleweed Park, and that was actually designed by the creators of the Monkey Island series, so it has those influenced by the 80s and 90s retro games that I love so much. It's rare to have a YouTuber that focuses on such games and not only just plays them, is very enthusiastic about them, and offers all kinds of explanations. And that's one of the many reasons why I like him. The second reason why I think he's a very excellent YouTuber is that he's very analytical. He's very in-depth. He tries all sorts of different things. If one solution doesn't work, he tries everything until he gets on the logic train to overcome it. And he's not afraid to make mistakes and go back, and even if he thinks he already knows the answer to the solution to a puzzle or a task or something like that, he still will explore all other options, and that genuinely makes you feel a part of the game. A lot of major content creators or newer content creators, if they're playing a puzzle game or an adventure game or a point and click or something like that, if they hit a wall, they will just skip it and flash forward a few other minutes or maybe even an hour into the game and just go, well, I solved this puzzle by doing this, and you are left in the dark about how that person did it other than just their own words. And it really, in my opinion, detracts from the point of the game. If you're watching a Let's Play, you want to see how it's done. You want to see the character development. You want to see how the puzzles are solved or how the battles are fought. So if you do play it, or if you're currently playing it, you have a second pair of eyes to watch it with you. And that's what Siperos does. I mean, one of the older episodes he did of, for example, Pillars of Eternity, he was doing the titular battle of Cade Noir, and he lost a couple of times, but rather than just gloss forward till the end, he replayed the battle and tried different tactics and explaining them as he does. So you had a firm grasp on how he did it, and actually for me, I'm working on Pillars of Eternity, and I'm getting damn close to the Battle of Cade Noir, so I'm actually very excited to see how, he did it. I'm going to watch it again as it gets closer to go time for me, and it really works for me. He does a lot of trial and error, obviously with like Monkey Island, for example, or what is it? Stasis is one of his newer ones. The explanations he offers, it definitely gives that insight and makes you want to continue playing it. Even if those types of games are not your style, it will pique that interest that you think, maybe I'll add it to my wish list on Steam, maybe further down and think about it later on. But that's just my take on it. And I think it's very well done and is very uncommon these days with content creators. I can maybe count on one hand the number of content creators that are very in-depth and explorative to the games they play. So thank you, Siperos, for doing that. It really makes me feel a part of it as well. Third is his involvement with his viewers. Once again, not too many content creators reach out to their viewers or say, you know, you can talk to me, you can offer me some suggestions. If you have any ideas, let me know. Once again, him, Lady Lilia, Girl Gamer Gab, those are the big three that I can think of off the top of my head of the major content creators that really talk to their viewers, that talk to their subscribers, that talk to their fans, whether it's in the game on YouTube, whether it's on Twitter, that sort of thing. So once again, it makes you feel involved. It makes you feel like you're a part of the gaming process. So I really like that. Fourth, and probably one of my big things, is his sense of humor. It is dry, surly, and sarcastic to the point that it rivals CJU games, and that is probably the highest praise that I can ever give to a content creator about their sense of humor, because in my opinion, CJU is the creme de la creme of dry and sarcastic humor. It's just the way he does it. I mean, when he's reading text in a certain game, or he's trying a puzzle, or he is reading a piece of dialogue, he'll throw in all these little kind of bits of just dry wit. He's not a dick and fart joke kind of guy. He's not a screaming, high-pitched, run-around squealing kind of content creator. And that's really good, and I think that is a big reason why I like it. I mean, I think there was, for example, in one of his newer episodes of Pillars of Eternity, he's reading a piece of dialogue, some text, and the character, the NPC, was being really just kind of goofier and more awkward than me. And he finished reading a bit of text, and almost immediately after it, he hits words like smooth. If, you know, he's trying to work on something, like a certain task and doesn't work, he'll just make some sort of thing like, well, this shit doesn't work. Going back to the Battle of Caed Noir in Pillars of Eternity, which I keep going back to that, that's one of my favorite episodes, because to me that just kind of solidifies all the good things that he does in his Let's Plays, and that's kind of the benchmark for me. It's like, well, when we decide who the winner is, and he'll just chime with, well, that would be me, or just the little things that go on in his conversation bits. It's very hilarious, and it breaks a lot of the tension if he's having issues with a certain task, or if I've had a stressful day at work and I want to settle down and watch something. I'm always going to get guaranteed a good bit of a laugh in there, just little bits and pieces of there, and I think that's really funny in my opinion. So that being said, even if you're not a fan of the old retro games, whether it's FPS or point-and-click adventure, take an hour out of your day, go to his channel, watch a video or two of it. I mean, once again, it's not just first-person puzzle games or point-and-click adventure games. He's got FPSs like Blood and Duke Nukem 3D. If you want more of an RPG type that isn't heavy text-based, he has Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which I really like playing in college. If you like dry, sarcastic humor, if you like a very in-depth Let's Play that gives you an overall grasp of what you can expect from the game, whether you watch all the episodes in the saga or if you just watch one or two because you don't want to spoil the game, check out his channel. I really encourage it. Definitely go for it. I will put a link in the description below to his channel, and go check it out, please. But anyway, Siperos, I hope this spotlight on you did you justice. I hope you liked it. But other than that, with that being said, y'all have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll catch you on the flip side, all right? Peace.